If this is your first time checking out the show, we appreciate you being here because there's millions of other channels you could be on right now. But today I had a hard decision, right? It was about taking the day off or working. And for some reason I can't seem to stop working. It's embedded in me. I don't know if it's DNA because, my father, he was a he is a hardworking man. I say was because, of course, I saw him waking up in the morning early every day, going out there to work when I was younger, but not any longer because I'm a grown ass man now. And of course, I have my own things that I have to tend to, and I have my own bills, and I'm the one waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day to start my day off and go to work every day. And when I say I don't take breaks, I don't take breaks. I don't believe in breaks for some reason. And a vacation, you can squash that. I can't remember the last time I took a vacation. But I say all of that because I've realized that men are hardwired to work. We are hardwired to create. We are hardwired to be great and aspire to be greater than what we are. That is the reason for a lot of these movies that you may see where there's an underdog and a man who starts from the bottom, he climbs to the top by working hard. Think about that. What man do you know does not or did not work hard in any movie, whether it is a true tale or fiction? What movie do you know where there was not a man working hard and busting his ass to make it to the top, who started out as the underdog? Most men do not start out at the top. We know this. You start at the bottom. We all did. We all do. I started at the bottom and I had to work my way up to where I wanted to be. And see, I don't know if it's a part of seeing my father work hard when I was younger. And so in order for me to be successful, I work as hard as he does. I don't know if that's what it is. I don't know if it's the... Yeah, I have to excuse me. I've been under the weather lately. But I don't know if it's the fact that I have been at rock bottom. Yeah, rock bottom. Yes, I've been down there. And some of y'all are down there right now. Some of y'all watching this, you're at rock bottom right now. Some of y'all will not admit it. You don't want to admit it. You keep trying to fight the fact that you are doing poorly right now when you're at rock bottom. And I am afraid to go back to that state. I don't know if that's why I work so hard, but men are hardwired to work. So when you get a lazy man, a man who does not want to accomplish anything, a man who he lays around, he makes excuses, he plays the victim all the time. It's always a system's fault. It's always someone else's fault. It's always another race's fault. A man who makes excuses for not being great. What do you call that? What do you call him? What category do you place him in? Because it's a foreign language to me. I don't get it. I don't understand being lazy. I've never had the privilege of being lazy. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, as I've stated earlier. Rock bottom. Yes, I started at the bottom. I've been so poor that I had to sleep on the streets before. Yes, I started there. Well, I went there. I didn't start there. Of course, I lived at home when I was younger, but as a teenager, things got a little rough for me. But am I afraid to go back to that state? Am I afraid? Is that what it is? Is that why I work so hard to be successful? It might be. So what's your excuse? Yeah, and I say an excuse because that's exactly what you are about to state right now. As you think about it, as you try to figure out, like, what is my excuse? What can I say? What's the reason as to why I'm not successful? It's an excuse. You're going to come up with anything that you deem as a hindrance to you, that stops you from being great, that stops you from advancing in whatever it is you are doing. And I'm not talking about if you're selling nickels and dimes for 5 years and you still haven't made it up to the plug. No. I'm speaking to those intelligent men out there right now. Ladies, if you're watching this and your man needs to see this, then I would suggest you send it to him, email it to him. But first, put your picture in a bikini as the thumbnail of the email. He'll click on it. He'll definitely open the link. But what is your reason for not being successful? You have to think about that. That's something that you probably have not thought about because you're so used to making those excuses. Yeah. You're so used to blaming others and blaming life and blaming the system or a system or any system for your laziness, for your incompetence. See, fellas, what I had to do and what I did was work with this first. I had to work on this, on my mind. I read, I spoke to people, we had dialogue so that I can understand people. I worked on this. And one of the only places that you will be able to work on your mind is inside of a book. And I know, I know, I just cursed. Yes, I'm sorry. How many of y'all are actually reading right now? Let's be real. I guarantee you most of the population does not read nor know what a book looks like. I guarantee you. I put anything on it. You know it's true. You know it's true. That's why most of y'all will not bet. But a majority of the population does not read. They don't know what that is. But you know what I did? I started reading and kept reading and kept reading. Yes, sometimes life happens and you stop, but you need to pick back up. If it's something that you've stopped, you need to pick that back up because working on this right here is going to advance everything else. It's going to change the world around you. I'm speaking from experience. Yeah, tonight I decided to come on here and just talk to y'all like a person, not talk at y'all, because I realized that some of the other content creators, they talk at you. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. They're talking at you. Or some of them have talking points that they repeat constantly until it's embedded in your mind and you start to believe it. But no, I didn't even pick a subject tonight. I just said I'm going to come here and talk to y'all as a regular person, as a down-to-earth person, and just tell you straight up like it is. You're not where you want to be right now because you haven't worked on this. Yes, once you work on this, everything around you is going to change. And it's also going to push you physically. And I mean not being lazy. Oh, you will see. Whatever book you choose to read, whether it's motivational, whether it can be fiction, whatever it is, I guarantee you there is someone in that book who started at rock bottom. Whether it's the hero, the heroine, the prince, the king, the queen, the princess, they started from the bottom, I guarantee you. And they worked their way up. Because that's the only way up. Ta-da! It's through work. That's the only way up, is through work. So if you're lazy and you just don't want to do anything, you don't want much out of life, Well, keep doing what you're doing then. You'll be fine. You'll be all right. But at the same time, don't be that person who tries to put others down because they're doing better than you are. Yeah, don't be that person. Not everyone can shoot a basketball. Not everyone can catch a football. No, not everyone's a rapper. Some people have to remain where they're at, but you can still move up. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to be extremely rich, but wherever you're at, you should always aspire to get better. You should always aspire to get higher. But instead, you are happy. You're complicit. You're fine with being stagnant. And I never understood that. That's why I work so hard. That's why you will catch me working 24/7. Yes, sometimes I work 24/7. I sleep for a couple of minutes. And then I'm right back up at it. Sometimes I sleep a couple of hours every night. And then I'm right back up at it. Is it out of fear of returning back to that state where I was poor and struggling? I don't want to go back there. Well, I already know that I'm not going back there ever. Are you kidding me? Any means necessary. I'm going to get better. Trust and believe. That's why I'm doing the uncomfortable things. Like a podcast, for instance. When was the last time you woke up and decided, let me get on the podcast, let me get on a camera in front of thousands of people just to talk, just to speak my mind? Who does that on a regular basis? Yes, there are millions of podcasts out there. There are. But how often does a person decide to do this? Not often. So I'm doing the uncomfortable things. I'm working towards being great. And the only way that I'm going to make it to where I want to is to know that this is not my stopping point. This isn't it. You need to stop thinking that too. A lot of y'all decide that, oh, I've made it here, I'm good, this is it. No, are you kidding me? Do you know how far you have to go? Sky's the limit. You never heard of that? I'm sure you have. Sky's the limit. I have so much further to go. So this is not, no, I'm not stopping here. I'm going to keep climbing. I'm going to keep striving to be better. Especially after a new year, you should definitely aspire to do better. You should definitely aspire to be the best version of yourself. And this isn't it. I'm telling you right now, this isn't it. If you're not rich, and I'm talking about filthy rich, let's define rich too. Not just money. I'm talking about family, of course, health, and wealth. That's being rich. Family, health, and wealth. If you have all three, you are extremely rich. You are the richest person alive. Because do you know how hard that is? Do you know how hard it is to get all three of those right now? Do you know how many people are filthy rich and they don't have a family? Do you know how many people have a family and they're not healthy? Do you know how many people are healthy and they're not wealthy? They're struggling. It's hard to get all three, but if you have all three of those, you are blessed. I'm here to tell you, you are extremely blessed. And that's exactly where we should all be striving to be. Those three, rich. But some of y'all don't want it. And you know what? I get it. I understand. You had a hard upbringing. Your dad left. Or your mom passed away. You had no one there for you. You had to live on the streets. You've been poor all your life. You struggle to pay the bills. Nothing seems to work. You can't catch a break. Oh, wait. That's similar to my story. And I'm not where you're at right now. Do you know why? Hard work. I'm not going to repeat myself. I already have. So if you're lazy, you don't want to work, and you're a man, what do you think you deserve? Yeah, exactly. What do you think you deserve? And that's the reason you will forever remain invisible to the world. Because as a man, you must produce. If you're not producing, you are invisible to the world. And that is women, you're invisible to women. They do not see you. Most of the population, you're invisible to most of the population. They do not see you. You're invisible. If you're not a man and you're producing, you are invisible. And when I say producing, I mean putting something out there into the world. Any type of work. Putting any type of energy out into the world. If you're not doing that, you are invisible. 9-to-5 workers, blue-collar workers, oh, you're invisible. So strive to be greater than what you are right now. That's the only way to be seen. Until next time. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content.